Welcome to Watching Books, the podcast where we talk about only books that have been adapted to both film and stage productions. There are more than you would think. I'm Victoria.
I'm Laura.
Hey, Mom. Hi. Yeah, so we're a mother-daughter duo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good too. We still have a really bad lag, but hopefully I can clear it up in editing. We'll just do the best we can.
Okay.
So I just got news tonight that we're under contract for our old house. We've been trying to sell it. You know, we've been in this house for
Hooray!
a couple of months and we've been a little bit stressed. Thank you. Is there anything new with you?
Not really. I'm getting ready to go to Alabama to celebrate our uncle's 5th birthday.
He's the best. We love him,
He
Uncle
is.
Chester.
Yeah.
So I have some
World War
things
II vet.
to talk about. First of all, what?
World War II vet. He has seen a lot.
He has. But he's amazing. He has the best attitude of almost anyone I know. So you remember how when you were staying with us, you read, I think, just the first book in the Housemaid series, right? By Frida McFadden.
Yes.
I finally, in all of our boxes, because we were still unpacking, found the second one.
Oh, good. You sent me the third, or you sent the third home with me, so I have the third one. I don't have the second one.
I absolutely would have thought this was like nearby, easy to get to. No, it was at the bottom of a box that I never would have expected to find it.
I'm excited. I'll have to read it. You'll have to bring it when you come.
Yeah. Okay, I'll bring it to you. And I really enjoyed the second one. It follows a similar outline to the first one, but a couple of things are switched, and I don't mind that at all. But the third one is totally different. I personally really related to it in kind of a scary way. And I think I enjoyed the third one the best. But what's cool is the third
Wow.
one actually has callbacks to a lot of characters from the first two books, which is fun.
Okay.
So what are you reading right now?
I am reading Bonhoeffer. It's a biography about Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was martyred during World War II. And I'm also reading All That Remains. Is that what it is? No. All the light we cannot see.
Who wrote that?
I don't have the book in here with me. Let's see. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And then Bonhoeffer, Pastor, Martyr, Prophet, Spy.
Anthony Doerr. Oh. What was the one you were reading by Lisa Jewell?
Ooh, that one was very good. And that one was None of This Is True. That was a very quick read.
So I remembered the
4
one that I had read
hours,
by her, and
maybe
it was
5.
Watching You,
Okay. Did you like it?
and it was really good.
Yeah. I think you'd like it. It reminded me, it was like a Riley Sager.
Yes. So speaking of which, I just started rereading Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I'm reading this out loud to Ray, my husband, because I know this is right up his alley. He would really enjoy this. But this is my favorite Riley Sager book. I
Okay.
love this one. I wanted to read Survive the Night to Him by Riley Sager, which is up on my shelf right there, but I couldn't find it at the time that we needed it. So I started reading Middle of the Night to Him, and oh my gosh, I'm remembering just how good this book is, and it's awesome on a second read. Knowing what happens, it's still so good.
Awesome.
And I'm also reading now. There's something we should talk about. Talk about what Dad does for you every year with your to be read list and your shelf of books that are to be read.
Okay, so I own a lot of books, and for those who have books, as her bookshelves you see behind Victoria, it is so hard to pick which book I want to read next. And some books I will inevitably keep on the shelves for years and years and years and years. And so I asked my husband 2 years ago, please go shopping for my birthday from my own shelves, pick 12 books, and wrap one a month. one so that I can open each one. So he gave me a stack of 12 books wrapped and marked them with the month, and I opened it. So we've done that for 2 years now. And so, of course, have I read my August book already? Yes, I have. Wait, no, Bonhoeffer. Bonhoeffer is my August book. And so that's what I'm working on. And it's a lot of fun. It makes me read things that have been sitting on my shelf for a really long time, and I never know what I'm going to get. And so it's like a little surprise every month. And some books I go,
I love
I
it.
own
And
that
then,
book.
yeah. And then you were at my house for forever. And so you did that for me. And by forever, I mean you were staying with us, because dad's deployed. Is that okay for me to share?
Yes.
Okay. So you did that for me. You went to my to be read books, which I had like two full-size bookshelves worth of these books, and you picked 12 for me. I read January's in January, and I loved it. I was a huge fan of this trend. I was like, this is great. I'm going to keep on doing this because the first book you gave me was from my own shelf was Memoirs of a Geisha. And I absolutely loved that book. I still think about it. It is now August. That was my January book, and it stuck with me. And yeah, I just loved it. And then the February book was Tevia's Daughters, which inspired Fiddler on the Roof. So I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. And then
Mhm.
I am still reading March's book, Orphan Train.
And it's
The
such a
problem
good
is,
book.
this is a really, really good book. It's so good. I'm really enjoying it. It's just that I have a really, really busy life. So, for people who don't know, early this year, we moved from my old house. We're still in the same state. We moved to a different town, to a bigger home. But, that was a process of packing up boxes and moving and all of that. And then on top of that, I have three children that I homeschool. So, I am currently in the middle of gearing up for starting the next school year. On top of that, I am a therapist. And so as much as I'm really loving this book, I'm still stuck on, oh, and I'm wrong. This is actually April's book. I'm stuck on April's book. March's
What
book
was
was The
Marcus?
Pianist from Syria. The Pianist of Syria, from Syria. Haven't finished it.
It's
I made
good
it through the
too.
first chapter and I'm really enjoying it. Again, I haven't finished it. So I'm doing the best I can. It's just my season of life. I know this is temporary. And there are other hobbies I have as well, like watercolor and pole dance that I do. And that's for my physical health. And so there are just other things on top of meal planning and caring for my family. Reading has taken a back seat, but I'm prioritizing the books that we need for this podcast. So that's
Me
something.
too. Yes. Yes. Thankfully, we've read books that go with this podcast, but there are
Mhm.
plenty out there that we haven't read, and there are plenty that need a refresher. So today, I
Yes.
read the book that we're going to talk about today.
And what book are we watching?
We are watching Tuck Everlasting. Great
That's
book.
right. By Natalie
Yes.
Babbitt. So the
Wonderful,
book came
wonderful
out in
book.
1975. When did you first read it?
Not until like 2018 or something like that. I saw the movie before I ever read the book.
Gosh, okay, so the movie came out in 2002. And I know you and I, if we didn't see it in theaters, we at least saw it soon after it came out. Do you really
Mhm.
think it wasn't until 2018 that you read the book?
I don't I happened to look it up because of course
I
I
would have been Mom, that would have been a year into my marriage. I know you read it before that.
m Oh, okay, so maybe I did, maybe it was before that. I put this into Goodreads because it's fun to keep up
You
with what I
must have.
read. Let's see, what were my dates then that I read this? Why did I think it was 18? 7 years ago, so
Well,
I
but
don't
you didn't
know.
get Goodreads until
Oh, that's
late,
true.
but I know
That's
you
true.
read it before
That's true.
then.
Probably so, yeah.
Because I remember
Yeah,
you
because I
talking
hadn't
about it
left
when
a
I was in
review
high
or
school,
anything.
and you kept recommending it to me, and I
Okay,
never picked it up. I never read it.
and it's a good book.
Yeah. So let's talk about the book. Do you wanna summarize it?
I can. So we meet this wonderful little girl named Winnie Foster, and she is 10 years old, and she lives on the outskirts of a forest, and she decides to run away, and she talks to this little toad that's outside her house, and she feels like the toad has freedom. And she does not have freedom. Her parents are pretty strict. Her mom,
Mm.
grandmother, they keep her at home within arm's length. And so she gets up one morning and she decides she's going to run away. And so she does, and she's in this forest. It is her forest. They are woods. And she stumbles across this young man and sees him drink from a spring, and it had been covered up with rocks. Took the rocks off, drank, and he sees her. And she wants to drink. He says, "No." He's covering it up with the rocks again. "It's not good. It doesn't taste good. No, I'm going to get sick from this, all this, but I'm really thirsty. But it's not good water, all this stuff." So you're like, what's going on? Well, then They're talking, his name is Jesse, and, he's tells her he's 104, ha, 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 and says, "Well, I'm 17." And he
And
didn't
she's
really know
11?
what to do. 10.
She's
She's
10.
10. Yes, soon to be 11, but she's 10. And so mom and his older brother come along. Ma is May Tuck, and then, older brother Miles Tuck. We learn that he is 22. Jesse's like, "Well, mom will know what to do." They basically kidnap her, put her on a horse, and they take off. And, the mother the whole time is saying, "Oh, don't worry, child. It'll all be okay. Tuck will know what to do, and we're not gonna hurt you." And they take her to their cabin in the woods, and it is nothing like her house, which is orderly and very nice, and theirs is disarray. And anyway, they tell her a story about who they are, that they drank from this water 87 years ago. And,
A lot of years.
87 years, yeah, and, the horse drank from it as well. The cat did not, and so they knew something was up when someone shot the horse one time, and the bullet just went right through him. Nothing happened to him. They had all these accidents, other things that should have killed them. Nothing ever did. Miles got married and had 2 children. 20 years later, everyone's looks older except for him. And so his wife thought that he was in some sort of witchcraft, and she
Yes.
left him
Mhm.
and took the children. And so they don't age and they can't die. And it's a book about what would the consequences be if you could never die. And it was fascinating
Mm.
to read about their story. Well, there is a man in a yellow suit who heard about this family,
And that's all
and
he's
he
known as in the
saw.
book is the man in the yellow suit.
That's right, and he saw them taking Winnie, and he followed. He
He had
goes
also
back.
approached Winnie the night before.
Yes, and the mother has this little music box that she plays, and it's a specific tune, and so you can hear it in the forest, and Winnie's grandmother always said it was the elves.
Mhm.
"Oh, they're the elves. Oh, do you hear it?"
Yeah,
And
the
Winnie
elf
didn't believe
music.
that. Winnie didn't know what to believe about this whole living forever thing either. She thought they were off their rockers, but she really liked them. She thought they were very kind. Jessie got very
Mhm,
excited. They'd never had a
mhm.
growing girl in their home. They had never told anyone else about this. Tuck, the father, was very kind and just a very nice, sweet family who drank water. The cat died, and the horse is still with them. So the horse is over 87 years old. And so that man in yellow, he follows them unbeknownst to them. And so he knows where they are and where they took the little girl. He goes back to
Mhm,
the family and says, "I know where she is, where your daughter is,
mhm.
and this is what I want. I want your
Yep,
woods. You sign
yep.
off this paper, give me your woods, and I'll get your daughter back." And so they
Mhm.
do. So he takes the sheriff, the constable, out, and he rides on ahead of the constable to
That's
their house.
right. That's so
Yeah.
different. Okay, yeah. That's like
Yeah.
the book is the only place where that happens. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but he's ahead of the constable. So he gets out there and he says, "I know who you are. My grandmother
Yeah.
knew this family whose
Mhm,
best friend's daughter married a man, and they
mhm,
had 2 children. And 20
mhm.
years later, he never changed, never aged." So brought that up, and they knew that he really knew. He wanted to bottle the water and sell it. Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Ugh, I'm allergic to
And they're
Kansas.
like, "You cannot sell this. You can't do this. That would be so dangerous." "Oh, no, I'm only gonna sell it to certain people, the right people," this kind of thing. So anyway, May, gets mad, and she's got a rifle, and she hits him with the rifle, and he goes down. As she hits him, that constable has come up. So he sees it, he's a witness to
Yeah.
it. The man in yellow goes down and he never comes to. He does die. They cart May off to jail and
Mhm.
she'll end up hanging in the gallows. And so they come up with a plan. And she talks to Jesse and says, hey, if because
Who,
Miles
Winnie?
was very good, Winnie does, sorry, yeah. Miles was very good at carpentry. And so they come up with this plan. He'll take the window off. May will climb out and Winnie will take her place back inside. So it will give them time to escape. And they
Yep.
actually do. It
And let's
succeeds.
not forget that in the process of coming up with this plan, Jesse has shown up to Winnie's house. He's come to her window. And at the same time that they're coming up with this plan, he's also trying to convince her to one day drink from the spring.
Yeah. He brings her a bottle of the water and says, wherever you are, you can drink this when you're 17 too. And that way they could be 17 together and get married and live their lives together. Yeah. And so May is saved. They do run off and she goes out the next day. They can't do anything to her. She's a little girl, 10 years old, so they let her go. And she is at home and goes outside and "Oh, look, there's the toad." And she pours the vial of water onto the toad. And then at
Because the toad gets
the end of the
attacked.
book, we don't
There was
know.
another animal and the toad
Yes,
was attacked.
yes, yes. And then at the very, very end,
Or
we
oh, it
see
was a dog.
Mr. and Mrs. Tuck come back and their automobiles, that kind of thing. And I want to say it's 1948. And they find her gravestone in loving
Oh, they
memory,
had the date?
Winifred Foster Jackson. Yeah, so they were there in 1950 because they said 2
Okay.
years. She's been gone for 2 years. And so she was born in 1870. So she saw them in 1880 and
Those
she
girls.
died in 1948. So by this time it's
Mm.
1950. They still had a horse and
They waited a
cart,
long time.
but there are automobiles, of course. Yes, at this time. And so they were very proud of her that she was a wife and a mother. She lived her life. And I wanted to mark this because it's very poignant. And this is Mr. Tuck speaking. And he talks about the wheel of life and how life is like a wheel
Yep.
and things come and go and they live and they die. And that is how it's supposed to be. And, he says, "But it's passing us by, us Tucks. Living's heavy work, but off to one
Mhm.
side, the way we are, it's useless too. It don't make sense. If I knowed how to climb back on the wheel, I'd do it in a minute. You can't have living without dying. So you can't call it living what we got. We just are. We just be like rocks beside the road." It
Yep.
really makes you think.
That is one of my favorite parts of the whole story, and it shows up in every variation
Mhm.
of this. What I like is that when Angus Tuck and May Tuck in the book find her grave and realize that she's passed, Tuck, all he says is, "Good girl."
Yeah.
And May says, "Poor
Mhm.
Jessie, she's sad for her son." But Angus says he knew. He knew a long time ago. And they start heading
Mhm.
out and they're on their little cart, their horse and buggy, and they're about to run over a toad in the road. And Maytuck says, "Darn
Yes!
fool thing must think it's gonna live forever."
I love the toad. The toad is from beginning and it's in the end, and that toad's gonna keep on going.
Yep. So what did you think of the book, Mom? Like overall, is it something you enjoyed reading?
I loved it. It's a five-star read for me. I love the premise of it. I love because so many times we say, "Man, I wish we could live forever. We want to live forever." But do we really? It really makes you think, I wouldn't want to live
Mhm.
that life where you could never die. No, I wouldn't want that. What about you? What'd you think?
I loved it. And here's where my opinion might be controversial. I only read this book recently. This is after growing up with the
Mhm.
movie and loving the movie, and then also going to see the musical version and absolutely loving it. Then I read the book. So I would say it's a 4 out of 5 star read for me. because there were changes in both the movie and the stage version that I liked more, that I thought added to the story. But what I will
Mhm.
say is Natalie Babbitt's amazing. She's a legend. She's an amazing children's author. And one of my favorite aspects of the whole idea is that she could have had anyone live forever. She chose a very humble, lowly, down to earth family that with two parents that love their boys and didn't ask for much in life. And it's what I think is interesting is that the people who typically have access to things like the man in the yellow suit who wanted to sell the water of the spring to people who,
Mhm.
he deemed were the right people. He wanted people with money. He wanted to make a living off of this and live forever. That's not who Natalie Babbitt chose as her protagonists. She chose humble people who appreciated the world and appreciated life and could really appreciate it. And even they were sick of it. I think that's my favorite aspect of the story. And not to mention that Winnie Foster, for being a 10-year-old girl, is an amazing protagonist.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay, so let's talk about the 2002 movie with Alexis Bledel as Winnie Foster. Yeah.
Love her.
I want to pull up the cast list because this cast is incredible. Mom, am I crazy? Did we not see this movie in theaters?
I don't know. We may have. I remember when it came out, I was like, "Ooh, that looks really good."
I think we did. Okay, so we have Alexis Bledel as Winnie, Jonathan Jackson as Jesse Tuck, Sissy Spacek as May, like you said, William Hurt as Angus Tuck, and we have Scott Bairstow as Miles Tuck, Ben Kingsley as the man in the yellow suit. I mean,
Yeah.
Amy Irving as Mother Foster, Victor Garber as Robert Foster. It's just, my gosh.
Multiple Academy Award
For something
winners.
that has the same
Yeah.
feel as like an early 2000s Disney Channel movie, it's wild to me, the cast that this movie has.
Ben Kingsley, Man in Yellow, absolute wonderful performance, very understated, not over the top. He was slimy, but in a way that you didn't really know if he was slimy. It was very, very good. He's such a powerful actor. Love him. And I love Alexis and I liked her in the role. I found it interesting that I guess they wanted to have a love interest and make it teenage love and all of this instead of having a little girl. And so she chooses as a teenager with Jesse that, okay, I'm not going to drink this water. And so their little romance was very sweet, but I really kind of liked it as the little girl in the book. And of course, Sissy Spacek's fabulous. And John Hurt. What about you?
It was William Hurt.
Not John, William Hurt. When I said it, I was like, that doesn't
Can you
seem right.
imagine an Ollivander type? I wondered when I'd be seeing you, Winnie Foster. I agree with everything you said, obviously. Like you and I both just absolutely love Ben Kingsley in everything he does. He's one of those who elevates any movie he's in, like Stanley
Mhm,
Tucci. And I totally
mhm.
agree I love his version of the man in the yellow suit because the stage version is completely different. And we'll get to that in a minute because I love it. But yeah, he doesn't come across as, despite his suit, he's not a loud character. And he definitely comes across as someone who has a secret and he
Mhm.
doesn't want you to know what it is just yet. And it's played so well. I wish I had that acting skill. It's one of those where if you're an actor and you've ever done any type of acting, you can really appreciate excellent acting on screen. Even for a role such as this, where he knew this wasn't going to be his
The
big
subtlety.
moneymaker, this wasn't going to be the thing that, everyone remembered him for. But he puts effort into it and he takes it seriously. And same with Sissy Spacek and Angus Tuck. Sissy Spacek, William Hurt,
Mhm.
poor guy. They played husband and wife so well. They embodied the Tucks. They're so believable. And I love Sissy Spacek in anything that she does. Although, I mean, okay, I'm trying
Mhm.
to think. I think I've only seen her in this and The Help. Have I not seen her in anything else?
Yes.
What has she
Have you seen
done?
Carrie? Carrie?
Who is she in Carrie? Sissy
Sissy
Spacek is
Spacek is the
Carrie?
original Carrie. Yes.
No idea. What?
Yeah.
My gosh. But I've never seen it. But I know what she looks like. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've gotta see Carrie. I
The
really
Coal
wanna see
Miner's
Carrie, and we
Daughter,
should see Carrie. It's a book,
Crimes of the
it's
Heart.
multiple movies, and it's a musical.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sissy. I've never seen Coal Miners. Jeez. Anyway,
That's
well,
great.
she's a great maid tuck. And then William Hurt. I haven't seen him in much. I've seen him in this, Tuck Everlasting, and I've seen him in The Village. And I know he did Kiss of the Spider
Oh,
Woman,
yes.
but I don't think I've seen him in much.
I love The Village. So good.
Me too.
So he's in Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, Captain America.
What, Mom?
Yes.
Who was William Hurt in Captain
William
America?
Hurt's in Avengers Endgame. Yeah, he's in Civil War. He's the
Who is he?
Secretary of State. Secretary of State.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. The Incredible Hulk.
Is he the same
Syriana.
character in all of these?
In those, yeah. In the Marvel ones.
Well, eventually you and I should do Kiss of the Spider Woman because it's a book, it's a stage adaptation, and it's a movie. It's a couple of movies.
Okay. Okay. He's in
William Hurt
Jane
was in it
Eyre. He's
with
Rochester.
Raul Julia.
Oh,
In what
okay.
version?
William Hurt's in Jane
Not the
Eyre
Michael Fassbender
in
version. Who is he?
1990
Or, I mean, which version?
Rochester, 1996.
Our lag is really bad. So, for anyone watching or listening, we are working with a really, really bad lag, and we have tried to fix it multiple times, and it's not happening. So, I'm going to try to fix it as best I can in the editing, but no promises that it's going to be perfect.
I don't think you've ever seen it. He starred with Marley Matlin in Children of a Lesser God. It is phenomenal. Excellent movie, excellent stage production. Very good. Children of a Lesser God.
Yeah?
Yeah. He and Marley
Hey,
Matlin.
is it a book? I love
Well, I
Marley
know it's a
Matlin.
play.
Rest in peace, Marley Matlin.
Me too. She died? She died?
She did, Mom. She died, I think, of cancer. Yeah, it was a few years ago. It's very sad.
I must have been in Germany.
Okay, I'm saying this and I really hope I'm correct. Mom,
Marley
okay, we're
Matlin?
gonna cut all of this out because I have the wrong person. This is the deaf actress.
Okay. Yes.
She's
Yes. I
alive.
love her. I'm like,
Who
what?
am I thinking of? I have to cut all this
Okay.
out. That's
Yes, cut that
embarrassing.
out.
Nope, that's humiliating.
Yes, definitely cut that.
But
No,
there's
it's okay.
someone
Definitely cut that out.
there's a Broadway actress who died. Oh my gosh, William Hurt is dead. Did you know that?
When did he die?
3 years ago.
The great William Hurt.
He died of
He was a
prostate
wonderful
cancer.
Yeah, you should see.
Marley Matlin and William Hurt dated. She was 19 and he was 35.
Oh
my gosh.
Okay. So, but yes, I thought the
Okay.
cast was
Let me talk about
amazing.
the age difference. Go ahead.
You go.
Okay. So the age difference that you mentioned, I think I also prefer Winnie being young and Jessie Tuck being a teenager, being an older teenager, almost an adult. I like their dynamic. When we translate it to stage, it works really well. However, you and I, when we rewatched the movie from 2002, and we're watching this cute little love story play out between Winnie Foster and Jessie Tuck. When they break May Tuck out of jail and they're saying goodbye, and Jessie Tuck is being carted away on their horse and buggy, and he's looking at her as they're driving away. And he yells at her, Winnie Foster, I'll love you till the day I die. You and I were both bawling our eyes out.
It's heartbreaking because he'll never die and he will always love her. And you can't say that to a 10-year-old little girl.
And I mean, the ending, I think, hits a little bit harder because it's not May and Angus showing up at Winnie's grave. It's Jessie riding up on a motorcycle in modern day.
I do like that.
And
I
walking
do
up to
like
her grave.
that. Yeah.
It hits harder.
It does. And so that was beautiful. I will
And
love
he's
you
not
until the day I
angry.
die. No. How can you
He's
be?
very accepting, even though it says like loving wife and mother or whatever it says. It definitely mentions her having married. He's not angry. He understands. So, but they have, I think, other than that, I mean, the jailbreak scene was different. Okay, they definitely upped the drama with the whole jailbreak in the movie.
Yes. And in the book, you don't see the dad. He's mentioned, but that's it. The dad plays a bigger part in the movie. And The stage version. No, 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 no. The stage version's more like the book as far as the dad is concerned. And in the book he is mentioned, but
Are
you
you
never
talking about
hear him
Winnie's
or he
dad
never
or
speaks.
Angus Tuck?
Yeah, Winnie's dad. Winnie's dad.
You're
Winnie's dad.
talking about Winnie's dad.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he's there. She definitely has 2 parents, and since I had seen the stage version, I was like, "Wait." I was reading the book and I went, "Wait, does she have a dad?" I had to flip back to see if a dad was mentioned. And yeah, her parents are both there, but yeah, her dad did not seem to be a big role at all in the book. But he's
No.
played by Victor Garber in the movie, so obviously
Yes.
he was gonna have a little bit of a bigger part. You have to give Victor Garber his dues.
Absolutely.
And Alexis Bledel, I think playing an older Winnie, she did great. I told you this, and I think this is probably a controversial opinion, but I told you I thought she acted better in this movie than she did in all of Gilmore Girls.
She did a
That's my hot
very
take.
good job. She did an excellent job, and she's so beautiful, and she and Jonathan
And then, of
Jackson
course,
looked
her best
so good
acting was
together.
in The Handmaid's yeah, yeah. Is there anything else you want to mention from the movie or talk about, or any parallels you want to make?
I don't think so.
Am I wrong in remembering that May Tuck in the book is described as looking like a potato to Winnie?
I just read that today. I
Am
don't
I
remember
wrong?
her being described as a potato. The book
Okay, I
does
need
say
to
that
look and
she's on
see.
the book does say she's on the heavier side.
Could have sworn the book said potato. Hold on, I gotta look. Not there. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, there's May Tuck. Okay, okay. So let's see. A big, comfortable-looking woman appeared. Okay, is that all? I could have sworn. Maybe I just had it wrong in my head. I don't know. Let's see. Let's
Uh,
see. May Tuck.
They carted her off like a sack
Husband.
of potatoes.
May 7. I have it. I found it, Mom. It's on page 10. May sat there frowning, a great potato of a woman with a round, sensible face and calm brown eyes. Okay, so I didn't make it up. She's described as a
Yeah,
potato.
wow.
Would you ever
That's
describe Sissy
crazy.
Spacek as a potato?
No, but she's not large either. She's tiny. She's
But
like
like, how do
five
you even
two.
picture a woman like that? Anyway,
I
I
know, a
that stuck with
potato.
me, and I kept picturing that. I'm like, what does a potato woman look like?
Mrs. Potato Head might
Okay,
go,
so
"Hello?"
right? Okay, so you and I, do you know when we actually went to see this show? It was earlier this year. We saw it here in 2025 in Topeka, Kansas.
May? We went in May.
Okay. Their
It
last
was
show
the
was in
last
May 10th,
show.
so it was early May that you and I went to see the show. Oh, we went to the
It
last
was the
show.
last show.
So May 10th, here's my
Mhm.
playbill. The book for this musical is by Claudia Schiffer and Tim Federle or Federal. I don't know how to pronounce that. Music by Chris Miller and lyrics by Nathan Tyson. And it's based on the novel by Natalie Babbitt. And this went to Broadway in 2016.
So this is a musical, and it was very enjoyable.
It's a musical. It's not a play. It's a musical version. And
A
we
musical,
saw a
a
community theater
musical.
version of this. I want to do something rotten so badly. That's what that's from, in case no one knows. So you and I got to go see this as mother and daughter. And honestly, I don't know what your thoughts going into it were, but my expectations were very low. I knew this was a musical. I was familiar when it had come out on Broadway. I had never seen it, never listened to the soundtrack, but I was not interested in seeing this show. So I was like, yeah, I'll go see this, but my expectations were low.
I was very interested in seeing this show. I was excited, and I knew nothing about it. I'd never heard the music. I knew absolutely nothing about it except for the book and the film. And so I was excited to see how they
Right.
did it. And the theater we went to, it's called the Helen Hawker Theater in Topeka. It's a very small, very intimate theater, and their set was wonderfully done. So the audience sits on 2 sides of them. They did a phenomenal job with the set. Kudos to the set designers. Just wonderful.
Yeah.
What did you like or not like about the show?
I loved the set and I was really impressed with it. And I had never been to a theater like that before where for anyone who's never experienced this, the stage was we were on the front row and the front row was level with the stage. The actors were if they were,
Mhm.
downstage, they were literally standing in front of us, right there. Like we could literally stand up and we're on stage with them. That was what it was like.
We
And
could reach out
I
and touch
loved the
them.
set. It was centered around one item, which was it started out as a tree, which was the tree that led to the spring that the Tuck family drank from. But this tree could be turned into a carnival tent. It could be turned into Winnie Foster's home. And if you turned it around and opened it up, it was the Tuck family home. I was really impressed with the set and how they used that tree. I loved the cast. I don't have anything negative to say about the cast at all.
I thought the cast was wonderful. Winnie did such a good job, and she had a beautiful voice. It was very impressive. She was not a 10-year-old little
Mhm.
girl, even though she was playing a 10-year-old little girl. I think she was in high school, and but she had a beautiful, beautiful
And
voice. And Jessie and Winnie were so
Mhm.
cute together.
And not that it makes much difference, but they do have Jessie as 17, but Winnie is 11. And I know she's 11 because she sings about it a
Right.
lot. And he has a whole song about how in 6 years she should drink
Right.
from the spring and then they can be 17 together. There's a
Yes.
whole song about it. So she's
Right.
11. Again, doesn't make much difference, but it's enough of a difference. They put a lot more emphasis on the sheriff and his little deputy than they do in the book. There's no deputy in the book or the movie, but the deputy is
That
important.
little deputy he was the cutest little guy, and he was so smart where the
Yeah.
sheriff wasn't. He was adorable. Hugo. His character's name was Hugo.
And the whole
Yes.
point of him being there is to help find Winnie
So
Foster.
exciting.
They're trying to find Winnie, she's missing.
Yes. The man in yellow was, he was a very happy man. It's like he used the yellow to exude a joyful countenance, but we knew inside that he was slimy.
Yes, okay, and the way that he reveals himself. So like the book and the movie, he comes to Winnie Foster at her home before she's ever left the gates. And Winnie is talking to her toad, right? She's making friends with the toad, but he reveals himself to her and they have an interaction. Just like in the book. And this translates better to stage. His performance is more exuberant. It's bigger. And there's seemed to be some allusion to him being like the leader of a carnival in town. He's traveling with the
Yes,
carnival. Did you get that same feel? Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, because he's,
So
"Hey,
that's how
come
he's
to the
in town, but he's
carnival," and
using that opportunity to investigate where the Tuck family might be because he wants to find the spring.
mhm,
But
mhm.
it's interesting because
That was
Winnie
very
and
different.
Jessie sneak out of the Tuck family home to go back to town. And she's dressed up like a little boy, in disguise, and they're gonna be
Yes.
quote unquote partners in crime, which is their little song that they sing. And they run into the carnival to go experience the carnival. But the man in the yellow suit recognizes Jesse and he ends up
Mhm.
threatening Jesse with a knife. This really surprised me. He threatens Jesse with a knife, and Jesse, I don't know how they do this in most stage productions, but in the one that we saw, Jesse pulls the man in the yellow suit into him, forcing him to stab him, and then he walks away completely unharmed, and the man in the yellow suit goes, "It's you." And that's how he has his suspicions confirmed. And I was
Yeah.
really surprised by that.
Yes, that was surprising. One thing was I'd be interested in reading the script of the stage production because some of Miles's character choices I found interesting. In the book,
Mhm.
he accepts that his wife is probably dead now, and his children are in their 80s. And he accepts that, and there doesn't seem to be bitterness. He's not angry about it. He doesn't want Winnie drinking from from it because no one deserves that and they don't deserve that kind of life. But in the musical, he was very angry, very bitter. He didn't want Winnie there. There just seemed to be a lot of angst. And didn't one of his children end up in an asylum, or his wife did?
I'm trying to remember. I think in the movie, his wife ends up in an asylum because I think Ben Kingsley refers to that. I think his character refers to that.
I thought so too. But I think she
I don't think that
did
was in the
in this
musical.
as well. But oh, you don't. So it was the movie, because she does not in this. We don't hear anything about her going to an asylum in the book.
I think that was only the
Okay, so the
movie
movie, yes. Okay. Yeah,
because
so the
she's written
music,
off as
but I would be
crazy.
interested, right? And she probably felt like she was going crazy. Her husband never aged. So I would be very interested in reading the script to see if he was written as a very angry young man, or if that was an acting or a directorial choice.
Well, I always thought, even growing up watching the movie, I always thought the older brother Miles came across as really angry, sad and angry. And so I wasn't surprised when we went to see the musical to see that the older brother was like really angry. I was surprised when I read the book and I was like, oh wow, Miles is really chill. He's pretty cool about this whole thing.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Because I remembered him as being chill, just not, yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think like
I
how would you or I be if our spouses left us and took our children and we were just left with our parents
mm,
and we never aged? I don't think I would
for
be super
eternity.
mature about that. I think I would be a pretty angry, bitter person.
And their brains, do they ever fully develop?
I wondered that too. Okay, I thought about that. I was like, okay, Jesse is living with a 17-year-old's brain. Biologically, nothing affects them. Poison doesn't affect them, bullets don't affect them. So, are their brains fully developing if they're just sort of frozen in time? I don't think so. I don't think it can work like that. And honestly, do I think Natalie Babbitt wanted us to look that deep into it? Probably not, because it's the moral of the story. It's not whether or not it's logical. But
Right.
I think, and looking at how every single story progresses, every version of this story, Jesse Tuck lives life with a 17-year-old boy's brain, not a 104-year-old man's brain. His brain is not, it's totally not fully developed.
Yeah. Neither one,
I don't
because
think
Miles
so.
is 22. So,
Yeah.
is there a character you would want to be?
In the stage production, I never would have thought so, but until we saw it, or once we did see it, I walked away wanting to play May Tuck more than anything. I want to play that part eventually.
Me too. She was amazing. This actress, wow. Lauren Lewis, shout out. She did absolutely amazingly well. I just loved her and her voice. She had a beautiful, beautiful voice, and very, very good. Yes, I would love to be her. She has a song, My Most Beautiful
Yeah.
Day, that sort of draws you in and makes you go, yes, I want to be May.
Yes. It's amazing that in such a short production, they were able to build on so many of the characters and add a completely new character who was very important to the story that we haven't gotten to yet. May,
Talk about it.
oh my gosh, she was so heartfelt and wonderful, and Lauren Lewis killed it. And also, fun fact, you and I got home, we're raving about this show. I was talking about how much I loved Lauren Lewis playing this part. Her voice was incredible. She played it incredibly well, and I loved her performance. And my husband goes, "Oh yeah, I know her." Just very casually. I was like, "You know her?" He's like, "Yeah, we're friends." It's like, "What do you mean you're friends?" I go on his Facebook. They are literally friends on Facebook. I was like, "How do you know her?" He's like, "We did theater together," which for anyone who doesn't know, I met my husband doing theater. We did community theater together. But he's been doing it for years more than I have. He has a decade on me. Um, because I married an old man, but he is friends with her. And so I was like, I want to be friends with her. Can I be friends with her? And he was like, just send her a request. And I did. And she accepted it. So now I'm friends with her on Facebook.
She was
She has no
very,
idea
very
who I
good.
am.
Thoroughly enjoyed.
I'm
No!
sure she only saw that we had a mutual
Okay, and
friend. We had a
so
few mutual friends.
after the show, we're back there and we want to meet the cast and we talk to people and we see her. Well, before we even see May Tuck, we see the actor who played Christian in Cyrano.
And she was friends with him.
When I,
Yeah,
so
that was fun.
talk about Hugo.
Okay. So again, I had not read the book yet. This was the difference between you and me. So you knew there was no Hugo in the book. And obviously there was no Hugo in the movie. I knew that. Hugo was this little sheriff's deputy who has his own cute little song about how this is his first case. And he wasn't great at it, but he was also a kid. Like you could tell he was young. He had never done this before. He is with his dad, the sheriff. It comes out later, it's his dad, but we don't know this yet. He's with the sheriff, going on this little case. They have this adorable song together about the types of people that are suspicious and why the man in the yellow suit is very suspicious. It's just absolutely adorable. And the actor we saw play Hugo, I have to shout him out. He was so cute. Who is he? Where is he? Hugo
Hugo.
Gonzalez played Hugo. So Hugo was Hugo. He was absolutely adorable. He was vital to this show. And this is why. This is what I loved most about the stage production. And this is what had me bawling ugly, ugly tears on the front row at this very intimate theater. I was crying my eyes out because Winnie Foster has a choice to make at the end of the show. And it is, am I going to drink from this little bottle that Jesse gave me of the spring water and choose to be 17 years old in 6 years? Like, in 6 years, am I going to drink from this? Or am I going to make a different choice? And at the end of that, she chooses to pour the water on the toad. So the toad's going to live forever. Before that happens, Hugo is the one who walks her home after everything takes place and the man in the yellow suit dies, all of that. Hugo, the little sheriff's deputy, walks her home and she says something. I cannot remember the exact words, but it's basically something like, thanks for walking me home, Hugo. You're good at this, or something. And he says, that's the nicest thing anyone ever said to me. And he ran off. And I was thinking, that's going to come back later. I think it is. And it did, because she sings her song about having to make a decision and she pours the water away. And she chooses to live her life on the wheel and live and die like she was meant to. Oh my gosh. Let me talk about the title of this song from the Broadway recording. The title of the song
Okay.
that then plays at the end of the show is called The Story of Winnie Foster, because there are no lyrics. It's just music. And we get to see that Hugo comes around courting Winnie. He's bringing flowers. Her mother, because we didn't mention this, her father is deceased in this version. Her mother and grandmother welcome him. And we see that they get married. And we're watching all of this to this beautiful music. I have chills just thinking about it because it was so impactful on me. Her family loves him. We see that the actress walks away and a new actress comes in. It's an older woman, closer like to my age, holding a baby. And Hugo and Winnie have now had a baby, and her mother is there. Her grandmother is there. And then her grandmother leaves. Her grandmother walks through the audience to leave the stage. And we see the family watching her go. And then as time goes on, we see like Hugo's father, the sheriff, he leaves. Winnie's mother leaves. And eventually we realize Hugo, we have an older Hugo come on as well. Like it's not just older Winnie and young Hugo. It's older Winnie, older Hugo. Hugo leaves and he's saying goodbye to Winnie as he leaves. And this is all, again, no lyrics, no words, no script. It's just music.
The baby grows up.
And then, yes, the baby grows up and is a young woman. And the older actress playing Winnie leaves, and an even older actress comes on. She's elderly, and she's elderly Winnie Foster. And all of her old family members come back on and surround her, and she's looking around at them, smiling at them, and she walks off with them. And her daughter is left looking after her, saying goodbye. Ugh, this destroyed me. It was done so well, so well. And you
It was
don't have to
so
have lyrics to
beautifully
convey the
done.
message. I loved every second of it, and I was bawling like a baby.
We were both crying, and Lauren Lewis, who played May, afterwards said, I saw you two ladies crying on the front row, and I knew I couldn't look at you or I was going to lose it.
And we were crying before that ever happened. That's the problem. You and I were just messes. I think it goes to show, like, this show really impacted
It
us.
was
I think it's
it
an
was
effective
beautiful.
musical that tells a beautiful story. It doesn't have to be complex. You can have a simple premise and a simple message, and as long as you have great performers and beautiful music with lyrics that understand the message they're trying to send, that's all you need.
Talk about the gravestone at the end.
Yeah, so this was different than both the movie and the book. So instead of having like the book, instead of having just May and Angus appear at the gravestone, and instead of like the movie having just Jesse come to the gravestone, we have the whole Tuck family arrive to look at Winnie Foster's gravestone, which is rolled out after the music ends for the story of Winnie Foster. But they're wearing, I don't know what era they were supposed to be in, but they definitely look like they were from the in my
Yeah.
opinion. But they all gather around
Mm.
Winnie's gravestone and just remember her. And they do seem proud of her. Jesse seems sad,
Yeah.
but understanding. And they exit. And I think, if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong,
It
Mom,
was
but I
beautiful.
think I remember they have a little toad ribbit at the end. Am I wrong? Or am I just making that up?
Yes, oh, yeah. But no, they did. We know the toad is still alive.
Okay. I thought I heard like a little ribbit. It was a little toad. So I loved it. The cast was incredible. They truly were. They were cast very well.
They did a very good job.
But May Tuck, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Lauren Lewis just
So,
stole it for me. She was amazing.
yeah, she was great. Jesse, he was very good. He had a beautiful voice.
Yeah,
So
so
let's see. Jesse
if
was
he was amazing.
Jesse Noah Long, yeah, 20 years old. So Noah Long, he did an excellent job.
Mhm.
And little Jordan Jackson was Winnie Foster. So, yes, 18 years old. You could tell, of course, she was mature, but
She
she did a
played young
very,
really well,
very good
though.
job. She really did. Really did. Yes. Great. I mean, just a really good cast. It was a lot of fun.
I think there's another difference, though. So you said your favorite song was May's song, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I loved that. What'd you like?
I think my favorite song, because it's the one I keep thinking about, my favorite song is The Story of the Tucks. And it's when May, Jesse, and Miles are
I
all
like
trying to
that too.
tell their story to Winnie. And it's so cute because it mirrors the book really well and how they're kind of awkward. They've never told it before. And Winnie is just sort of baffled trying to listen to this crazy story of how they don't ever, die.
Yeah, right.
And it's
Yeah,
very cute,
it's
the
very
dynamics that
good.
they had through that song.
Yes,
Mm.
that's good too.
But Angus Tuck also has a whole song that he sings to Winnie about the wheel of time.
On the in the little rowboat. In all 3 of them, Angus takes
Mhm.
Winnie out into a little boat in a boat
Yes.
and talks to her. Yeah.
They go
Yeah.
fishing. Yeah. In this, though, they didn't have to break May out of jail because Winnie just takes the blame for killing the man in the yellow suit, and they're not gonna prosecute an
Oh,
11-year-old.
that's right. You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
Mm.
different.
Yeah. And we didn't talk about how in the movie, it's so dramatic, the jailbreak, because yes, Winnie takes May's place, but the boys, Jesse and Miles, are walking up on the jail in these long coats, and the sheriff is shooting at them, but they're coming up with their
And
swords.
nothing's
The
happening.
bullets aren't doing anything to them.
Yep.
It was so dramatic.
Yes. That was awesome. That was
Well,
fun.
I know you love the book, but do you have a version of this story that's your favorite? That's the one you would want to return to multiple times?
I would love to see it on stage again. I thought it was very well done. I thought the music was great. It was exciting. I loved the addition of Hugo. So I would definitely, I mean, you can't beat the book. It's the original, it's the source. But I really enjoyed the musical. And I love musicals.
What changes in either the movie or the musical, what changes do you think were appropriate or necessary or improved?
They did a great job doing the film version and the stage version because they stuck with the core of the story. I liked seeing the dad, that
Hmm.
there was a dad present in the
Yeah.
film, and,
Mhm.
Winnie's dad. I liked that. I liked the addition of Hugo
Mhm.
and that you get to see the life Winnie led because you don't get that in the book or the movie. And so that was nice to see who she married. She had a baby and she had a very happy life, which we see that only from the stage production. And that was just nice. if
Yeah.
you're the type who likes
Yeah.
closure. And I did like seeing Jesse on that
Mhm.
motorcycle in the movie. That was fun. It was different.
I think the stage version is always gonna be my favorite. I
It was
like it
wonderful.
more than the book, even though I appreciate the source material. Like, obviously, we wouldn't have the stage version if it wasn't for the book. But I like that the stage version feels more complete. Like, I finished the book and I just felt like something
Right.
was missing. And again, maybe that's because I had
Mhm.
already seen the musical, but I liked the addition of Hugo. I liked that we got to see Winnie's life play out. And um I also understand why they had her father as deceased in the musical because they used it. It wasn't just for
Mhm.
no reason. It was very meaningful because her mother was in mourning the entire time. She was in black. Winnie was meant to be in black. But Winnie was done grieving. Winnie was ready to move on where her mother wasn't. And I thought that was important because it explained a lot of Winnie's mother's neurosis and fear around Winnie going outside and being independent and having a life outside the home.
She couldn't open her gate and go anywhere. She was held as a prisoner because of her mother's fear of losing her.
Yeah. And I thought that was really important. I liked that explanation. So even though I love seeing
Mhm.
Victor Garber always, I could appreciate why they had that. And they used it again. It's not just to explain the fear that her mother has in, allowing Winnie out, but also Winnie uses that grief to relate to Miles. So when Miles is singing about his son, because in the musical version, he only has one child, and he sings a whole song about it, about how he had a relationship with his son and etc. When he takes that chance to say, like, I'm a daughter who lost a father and I know what I would be thinking. Like, your
Yeah.
son always loved you, misses you. And if he's not around anymore, then he died missing you, basically. And I thought that
Yeah.
was poignant. I think that if they were going to exclude a character, they did it well because they used it to the story's
Mhm.
advantage.
Well, and it was just excluded from the movie because he is only mentioned in the book. That's it.
Yeah. Now, I have to give one shout out because I did listen to the Broadway cast recording. Of course, you and I never got to see this on Broadway, but the original cast is incredible. It has Andrew Keenan Bolger as Jesse. It has Carolee Carmello as May Tuck, who she's best to me. I don't know what she's best known for in general, but to me, she's best known for her role in Parade. But my favorite, one of my all-time favorite Broadway actors, is Terrence Mann, and he was the man in the yellow suit. And this man is, to me, he's the Stanley Tucci of Broadway, as in, again, he elevates any show he's in. He can do anything, and
Mm.
he's always impressive. I love Terrence Mann so
Yeah.
much, and I listened to his
Mhm.
rendition of his song. Let's see, what is it? It's Everything's Golden. That's his song as the man in the yellow suit. And seeing it, the man we saw as the man in the yellow suit, he was wonderful. He performed very well. He was also the music director for the show, which is impressive in and of itself. But listening to Terrence Mann in the Broadway cast recording, it's very hard to beat that. He
Right.
knows how to play a character role. He knows what's required. And honestly, if I had listened to it without knowing who it was, I never would have known it was him. And I love him. And that's how good he is
Mm.
at being different characters and embodying them and changing his voice and changing his accent and changing his style. He's so good at it. He's one of the best, and I think he's underrated.
Yeah. He's good. I need to listen to the Broadway cast recording.
Yeah. And okay, here's a hot take. I preferred Lauren Lewis over Carolee Carmello, which is
Wow.
wild to say, but I think Lauren was better, at least singing wise.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say, but it's just my opinion.
I'll have to listen. Oh, cool. Tuck Everlasting.
Yeah, this was a fun one. I really enjoyed doing this. I've been looking forward to us talking about it for so long.
Me too. We have other good ones on the horizon.
Hopefully next time we record our lag isn't this bad. To all of our amazing listeners and viewers out there, please remember to support your local community theater. Go support the theater. It's
Yeah,
worth it. It's wonderful. You get a different
indeed.
show every time. And thank you for joining us. Please remember we have our own Instagram profiles You can find me at vdspringer.author, and you can find my mom at lauradawson.author on Instagram. If you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be reminded of all of our uploads in the future. And please let us know in the comments what you thought of Tuck Everlasting. Which version have you read or seen? And what are your thoughts? And do you disagree with
Yeah,
us? Do you
I
agree?
just
Let
did.
us know. We're open to it all. Let us know also
Mhm.
what you want us to cover next. Remember, we only do books that have also been adapted to stage and film. So that's what it's your pool that you're able to pick from. And it's a lot bigger than you'd think. Trust me. Mom, I love you. And I'll talk to you next time when we watch another book.
Happy watching books.
Bye.
Bye.